of college deadlines. Joining me today is College Readiness Director David Johnson and College Readiness Specialist Jennifer Ertl. David, thanks for joining me here today. Can you briefly explain some of the programs and initiatives under the College Readiness Department?
Sure, yes. The College Readiness Department, we work on some very large platforms that impacts all of our students across the district. So Naviance, which we're going to talk about more in detail in a bit, the College Board, the SAT, the PSAT, and the AVID program. And then we have a number of big days that we work with, again, across the district. We do our Texas College Night, we do the Academic Signing Day, and the Scholars Banquet. And then we have programs that work with three categories of students. We have our Emerge program, which works with students that are heading off to our Ivy League and very selective schools. We have our Mission 1.5 initiative, which works with seniors that are applying to selective universities and colleges. And then we have another program called It's Not Too Late, which supports students heading off to more community colleges and trade schools.
So Jennifer, we hear so much about Naviance. Can you explain to the audience what that program's all about?
Yes, of course. I like to refer to it as our online college and career center. And it's available 24/7 because it's online, and students and families can do a variety of things. Right now we have it available to all middle school parents and students, middle school and high school. And what they can do on there is so many things. And you can find and apply for scholarships. This program speaks to our Chancery, which is our student information system. So all the students' data can be found there. A lot of times kids don't remember like what grades they made or why they have the GPA that they have. They don't remember what they made at a certain test score. So all that's available for them. So they have access to all their academic records, which is nice because sometimes parents don't even know what their child's GPA is. Right. So in order for parents and students to stay on top of that stuff, it's good because it talks to Chancery nightly. So it's constantly updating, making sure that that GPA is the most up to date so they can look and see where they are at all times. And then Naviance is also, one of my favorite tools as a counselor is you can use it to talk to the students and send out messages. And so the students they can be looking at colleges at night online and say, I have a question about Texas A&M or whatever it is. So they communicate directly with the staff. And on our side, we can send mass emails and communications about field trips, when colleges are coming, college visits, and we can set it up where students can sign up for college visits. You can build resumes. We can assign tasks for them to do as a district, like we might say put 3 colleges in your college list or take this career assessment. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do on Naviance and use it, and there's just a lot of things that the parents and students can do to use it. So it really is that full service college center like that you can do after school or on the weekend.
So how old are students like when they can first use Naviance?
So we have it available right now to middle school and high school students. But for example, if a parent has a child in elementary, they have access to Naviance and all those features. So they can go on there and search for scholarships and do all kinds of things and do all that college searching there, even if their child is just in elementary, if they have another one in high school or middle school. And, I forgot one more thing that Naviance offers, which is very important, is it's a thing called Prep Me, where it's an online tool for kids to study for PSAT and SAT. And it's a very online, extensive course that they can take, and they take a diagnostic test, and then Naviance configures it just for them, a plan. It makes a plan just for them. To say for the PSAT or the SAT, because in the district we test PSAT the 9th, 10th, 11th graders, and for SAT we do the in-school for 11th graders, and of course many schools offer the National Saturday SAT at different campuses. So it's important for our kids to have a free resource to study for those things, so they can study for it at home. And also the teachers can track them through the classroom. So it's really it's a super tool.
It really is.
So, David, we've got Naviance, and you can start
very young and work
Yes.
through it all the way till your senior year. And so we've got seniors, and we're already in the fall of 2014. And what do high school seniors need to be doing now in order to enroll in a college and
Right,
university
right.
in 2015?
Students right now should be, starting in November into December, they need to have their college applications completed. Okay, if not, it's not too late. They can still get on the bandwagon. The other thing we need students to do is to be talking to their parents about when their parents do their tax returns, because right at the beginning of the new year is when the free application for federal student aid opens up, or FAFSA opens up, and parents need to have their income taxes completed for the student to completely submit that application through. So 3 big things we want students to focus on right now: on their applications, getting their recommendations, writing their essays, talking to their parents about when their parents are going to do their their tax returns, and then looking for scholarships. And Jennifer mentioned Naviance. So just as students can go on to Naviance and match colleges, they can create a profile and find scholarships that way as well on that platform.
So you mentioned scholarships, and a lot of people are worried about how to pay for colleges. What advice can you give to our HISD students and families about finding scholarships and financial aid for colleges and universities?
I'm glad you asked that, because yes, I think it's everyone's number one concern. It's like number one concern is how are we going to pay for college. Number 2 is where am I going to go?
Right.
What we say to all families is you have to start early, and you can't just take one approach to paying for college. You can't just say, well, I'm going to get all scholarships, or I'm going to do it all one way. We recommend that you start looking for scholarships as early as middle school. But I have to say, on Naviance the other day, I saw one for 1st grade.
Wow.
It was to draw a picture of an animal. You'll see a lot of them, they're just essays or picture drawing or making a little movie, a little video about different things, but they're open to anyone that's a student, and that includes undergraduate level and even down to, like I said, 1st grade. So most scholarships on Naviance are really national scholarships that are open to everyone. So you could and should start racking up scholarships early. And as aside from Naviance, we also, the district pays for e-scholarships, which is another scholarship service that we offer. On there, there's hundreds more. If you did all the ones on Naviance, which I don't think anyone could even keep up with doing all these scholarships, but so many of them are open-ended where anyone can apply to it. You need to only be a student, for example. There are even scholarships. There on Naviance, you have your local, state, national ones, and it's true on our e-scholarships as well.
So there's a lot of opportunity
Oh,
for
yes.
financial aid and scholarships, but the students need to be able to have access to the information
Right.
and know when to apply.
Right, so one of those, one piece is that scholarship piece, but the other piece is you need to be, because, scholarships aren't just from outside entities like the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo and the ones that you'll see on Naviance. Those are all kind of where we consider outside scholarships, but there's also a lot that the colleges are offering.
Right.
I know tuition has gone up since I went to college, but at the same time, what they're putting back out there for money is incredible. There's all kinds of programs for different types. There's merit money for academics, there's money for need-based, there's money for a combination of both of those things, even how much community service you do. So there's a lot of money just coming from the universities themselves. And a lot of universities have these tuition guarantees where if your parents make less than $60,000 or $80,000, that they waive the tuition.
So let me ask you a question about a group of students that have a very specific question, the undocumented student. What's available for undocumented students in terms of being able to go to college or financial aid that might be available?
So we're very fortunate here in Texas that we have a law that allows all students, regardless of their immigration status, to start college. And that law is called SB 1528. And it's a real simple law. It says if you lived in Texas for 3 years before you graduate, okay, and you attend a Texas private or public university, and you graduate from high school, then you can get two benefits. One is you can attend as a Texas resident, which means you do not have to pay international tuition fees. And the second thing is you're eligible for Texas state financial aid, okay? And that's like a grant called the Stipeche grant and the Texas grant. So these grants, students do not have to pay the money back. They're not loans. And students access this through doing an application that we've created in Texas for our immigrant families, and that's called the TASFA. And so the TASFA is a paper version of the FAFSA application, which is for our citizens and permanent residents. They complete that one online. So our immigrant students follow the same process. They can ask their high school counselor. We'll have those available for them in January. They will complete the TASFA. They will include their parents' tax information, just like FAFSA students. They will submit that to each college they will apply, and then they too will be eligible for Texas state financial aid. And as Jennifer said, our Texas universities also provide our immigrant students the same scholarships that they offer our citizens and permanent residents. Our immigrant students can also receive those. So for example, at Texas A&M, immigrant students can receive the Regent Scholarship, which is a $20,000 scholarship, $5,000 a semester, a year, along with their other grant funding. So there are, and then also the scholarships themselves. Now, some scholarships do have requirements. All scholarships have requirements. So whatever your immigration status is, you need to just as aggressively look for scholarships as any other student in your class.
That's fantastic news to be able to say, look, the opportunity is out there.
Yeah.
There are many different colleges and universities. There's financial aid, there's grants, there's scholarships. With so many choices out there in terms of universities and colleges, what recommendations would you provide an HISD student about picking the best college that might suit them?
Well, the first, most important part about picking a college that's best fit is to actually visit the campus. So the more campus visits you can go on, the more likely you're going to find one that's a fit and that you know it's a fit. The second way for someone that maybe can't get into all these college visits, but I will say we definitely make it our goal that campuses offer visits to different colleges, and we as a department,
Yes.
just recently we took a group of students from 7 different high schools here in town to Texas A&M. To see what does Texas A&M have as a Tier 1 school for some of our top students. Right?
Any high school, and we've let our high schools know that contact our office and we'll assist them to set up a trip for their seniors or juniors. It's very important as the College Readiness Department. We recognize, as Jennifer says, the #1 way for a student to see if a college is a fit is if they visit it. So
Right.
we don't want to
Exactly.
just tell students to do that and then not offer them a means to make that happen.
One of my main things I say to students to reach out to is look at the alumni at your school, the teachers, counselors, talk to them about their school experience. And always ask teachers and counselors, put up your pennant or even put up just a sign that says what college that you went to, so that kids know, hey, if I'm interested in Texas Southern, for instance, I need to go to this room and talk to this person. So that's some of the ways, and obviously getting, you know what I like to do at the high schools is have some of their former students come back and talk to the students that are currently going there about their experience and kind of exchanging emails and letting them talk to former students.
So I just want to say thank you for offering these great programs and for collaborating with our high schools and our students so that way they can have access to these tremendous opportunities. And it's really exciting, and it's also a lot of initiative that we can put in the hands of our students so that way they can ask the questions, get involved, network, and use the resources to succeed. So once again, thank you very much for all you do, and thanks for spending some time with me today.
Thank you.
Juliet.